All right, I decided to sneak one more boxing video in for the night, all right? I'll probably upload this before my last boxing video, okay? I'll double up for the night. But it's the Boxing Clinic and more. Your boy CJ Goodfellow. One time for the one time we grinding. Shout out to the entire LDBC. We working. Make sure I go subscribe to my brother Colosso Sports TV. Go show him some love. Subscribe. Great content. Great channel. Great with the boxing. Support him, man. We cut from that same cloth. Came from the bottom together, man. So y'all go check him out, man. Also, check us out, Boxing Early Morning Grind, Boxing 101 Early Morning Grind, our early morning boxing talking show, Monday through Friday, okay? Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you so happen to miss it, it'll still be on YouTube after that, or I'll upload it to the podcast link in the description. The Castbox app, just download. It's totally free. You can listen for free. Just subscribe and show love and comment and let me know what you think over there. And you don't got to worry about having the YouTube app open. You can listen to it and put your backlight on your phone, and you Gucci. But apparently, man, I have some information about Billy Joe Saunders Andrade for my subscriber, and also some more information came up, so I decided to kind of double up in this video, okay? So, and you'll see the screenshot, and then you can go to Demetrius Andrade's Twitter to make sure it's true, but you'll be able to see it's real right here. And Billy Joe Saunders says that he can fight on October 20th regardless. Whatever happens to Billy Joe Saunders, he's still fighting on that day. It's either going to be versus Billy Joe Saunders or versus the African guy, Walter. I can't pronounce his last name. Number 2 ranked WBO. Walter, some with a K. He's undefeated, like 17. It was 17 over 16 knockouts. All his fights been in Africa. He's the WBO African middleweight champion of the world from Namibia, the same country in Africa as Julius Ndango. His record is just strictly in Africa. He's a knockout artist, but he's just been knocking out guys in Africa. So that would be a huge letdown unless this dude is something special. He's one of the best kept secrets in boxing. And, hopefully the sun will shine on your ass that day if you go into that fight, because that would be you would hope that to be the situation, because one of my subs said he bought tickets out there to the fight. It's at where the Boston Celtics play at the TD Garden Arena, whatever it's called. And he says that Eddie Hearn does not offer full refund. So no full refund on your ticket if Billy Joe Saunders pulls out. Okay? If Billy Joe Saunders, if he get suspended and stripped, and then Andrade fight this African guy, Walter, African middleweight champion, WO champion, you cannot get no refund. You got to stay there, okay? Watch the fight, and that's what it is. There's no refund. So you go from a world-class fight between two world-class fighters, two of the most talented fighters in the world, in my opinion, Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, to a virtual unknown, and you better pray this virtual unknown isn't a certified bum, and he could actually fight and bang, that has never fought outside the continent of Africa. Let me say that. And hopefully that fight is good, or hopefully you can resell the fight tickets and get your money back at least, or some of your money back on StubHub or something like that, or Ticketmaster resale. But that's a huge letdown, because the overall card, from my understanding, this was like the cream of the crop. Obviously being the main event, you got Tevin Farmer. If you're interested in watching Tevin Farmer fight, he fighting James Tennyson, a guy that got knocked out by a guy that was 2-67. So that's something to look at, man. The refund policy, yeah, it's whack, but, it is what it is. If you've never been to a live fight, it's still a good look. You still getting a world championship level fight, or champion fight. You'll be able to see Demetrius Andrade, who I think is a superb talent out here, one of the most talented fighters, just don't like to challenge himself. And, they're not going to reduce the ticket prices if you already bought them. And they probably going to reduce the ticket prices after if you didn't already buy them. It's a huge letdown, but it's still a championship fight. If you haven't been to a championship fight, I haven't been to many boxing fights or championship fights that on that level that's been trash. I seen Ishe Smith K9. I had an excellent time at that fight. It's just the atmosphere about going to a fight from when I go out there to New York, or when I sit in Detroit, or when I go out, wherever I go see a fight at. It's the atmosphere. It's beautiful women there. It's live. I always have a good time. May it be a local Detroit fight, or may it be a fight out in Brooklyn, Madison Square Garden, wherever I go for a fight, it's usually a really, really good experience. So I would not discourage you if Billy Joe Saunders falls out to pull away and not watch the fight. Go to the fight. The atmosphere to a fight is definitely worth it. If you're spending a lot of money going to the fight, you flying in, then of course it's gonna be a little bit of disappointment. But Boston, it's a good city. My pops used to stay there back in the day. Great seafood, very, very expensive. You don't need a car, so you'll be able to get around really, really well, especially with the advancements of their trains and advancements of Ubers and Lyfts. You'll be okay. Okay, it's listed that Billy Joe Andrade is still the main event. Katie Taylor and Cindy Serrano, which I know a few brothers. I think Serrano's going to win that fight. Tevin Farmer and James Tennyson. Kid Gallet versus Tuka Khan Cleary, which I think is going to be a good fight as well. And Danny O'Connor, Tommy Coyle, and some other Boston fighters are on the undercard as well. And it seems like the DAZN is doubling up with Eddie Hearn's card and some of the World Boxing Super Series tournament cards, because the World Boxing Super Series tournament on the second DAZN card back will be on the DAZN the same time, the same night, or the same day as one of Eddie Hearn's cards. Emmanuel Rodriguez is taking on Jason Maloney in the World Boxing Super Series bantamweight tournament for Rodriguez vacant IBF tournament. Dr. Toast, the Cuban guy who got beat by Gasvier is fighting in a second cruiserweight tournament that same night. So you double dip it on the DAZN that night for boxing. And in the UK, if anybody interested, Gary Cochran is also fighting Johnny Garton in the UK. I'm not sure what channel as well. And also October 6th this weekend, I want to make people aware. I'm not a hater. I love to inform, even if I don't support the DAZN. The DAZN is going on in Chicago, October 6th. Arthur Berterbi is taking on Callum Johnson. Danny Roman is taking on Gavin McDowell for Roman's WBA title. Jesse Vargas is the main event, taking on Thomas Delorme. And Jarrell Miller and Thomas Adamick is the opening fight card that day. Also that day again, this is October 6th, this weekend. The Sunday, which I don't know exactly what day it falls in America, but it's probably Sunday. Inoue is kicking off the World Boxing Super Series tournament versus Juan Carlos Pena over there in Japan. And Rillick and Edward Travansky, who Julius Sandago knocked out for one of his titles, are fighting for the Super WBA title that Rillick holds in the first World Boxing Super Series tournament at 140 pounds, kicking off this weekend. So in all, even though Conor McGregor, Khabib, and you got Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder taking over the headlines this weekend, it's a lot of boxing on this weekend on the DAZN. If you don't want to support the DAZN, you can look for a link as well. So that's something to look at, man. I definitely appreciate all the brothers and sisters support what we're doing over here. I definitely got to give y'all a shout out again. But yeah, so it's no full refunds on, probably no refunds at all, but I'm pretty sure it's no refunds at all if Billy Joe Saunders pulls out. But Andrade will continue to fight October 20th. Tevin Farmer still be on the card. You get the opportunity to see Katie Taylor and Serrano. I heard that's going to be a wonderful card. That's a wonderful fight as well. And you get a chance to see the great Boston legend fireman Danny O'Connor fight on the card as well. So all is not lost. If you bought tickets and Billy Joe Saunders pull out and you don't want to see Andrade fight for a vacant world title versus a guy from Africa, Walter, whatever his last name is, who will fight all his fights in Africa, who's the African middleweight champion, still go to the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for Eddie Hearn. I really don't have any bad disdain for Eddie Hearn. I just hate to lie. And I hate how he try to come over here and try to diss everybody. But I'm not going to ever be disloyal to subscribers and give bad information. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be always on point or perfect or every fight prediction. But I tell you this, going to a world-class level fight or going to a local fight is some of the best sport experience I got to. I think I enjoy going to fights more than I go to football games. And it's been a minute since I've been to a basketball game. But I enjoy going to a fight. It's so many beautiful women. It's a lot of great music. You got drinks. It's a great atmosphere. Don't sell your tickets. Still go out there and go to the fight. Support Demetrius Andrade. Support, those fighters. Tevin Farmer. We got some brothers on there. It's a great atmosphere. Don't get discouraged. Still check it out. If they don't give you a full refund, it's the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, check us out on the Raw and Uncut podcast, where I'll be dropping my boxing 101 early morning grind videos into podcasts on there as well. The links in the description. If you would like to donate, the PayPal links in the description as well. Make sure you go to ldbcsports.com. Also, download the LDBC app now. You know, they got the LDBC app up. Check it out. Also, check out the Smoke City Mobcast every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Smoke City Mobcast on YouTube. So check us out. We working on all platforms, and make sure you go subscribe to my brother Colossal Sports TV, man. Came up in the game together, man. 10 toes down. Hard-working brother, good brother, man. Y'all go subscribe to him, man. And we need to go ahead and uplift all our channels and put them on the pedestal and everybody be stunned together. We gone.